Lady Gaga, the chameleon-like artist whose career defies categorization, from avant-garde pop provocateur to Oscar-nominated actress, has finally peeled back the layers on one of her most challenging professional chapters, the polarizing reception to Joker, Folie à Deux. In a sprawling interview that feels like a confessional therapy session, the 39-year-old icon dissected the torrent of criticism that greeted the film, admitting that beneath her trademark bravado lies a vulnerability that the backlash pierced deeply. Far from the unflappable diva persona she often projects, Gaga revealed a woman who laughed through the initial absurdity of the hate but grappled with its lingering sting, transforming pain into her most potent creative fuel yet. The conversation, set against the introspective backdrop of a Rolling Stone feature, began with Gaga recounting the surreal onset of the negativity. "When it first started happening, I started laughing," she confessed, her voice laced with a mix of wry amusement and hindsight wisdom. "Because it was just getting so unhinged." Imagine the scene. A project born from the ashes of a billion-dollar phenomenon, Joker, 2019, which redefined comic book cinema with its gritty exploration of mental health and societal decay. That film, starring Joaquin Phoenix in a tour-de-force performance, snagged 11 Oscar nominations and reshaped Warner Bros.' DC Universe. Enter the sequel, Folie à Deux, directed by Todd Phillips with the same audacious vision, but this time infusing musical elements and Gaga's magnetic presence as Lee Quinzel, a reimagined Harley Quinn. What was intended as a bold evolution, a duet of madness and melody between Phoenix's Arthur Fleck and Gaga's enigmatic love interest, unraveled into a box office enigma and critical quagmire. Gaga's portrayal was a revelation, a Harley stripped of comic book bombast, replaced with a haunting fragility that echoed her own real-life battles with identity and performance. She didn't just act, she inhabited the role, drawing from her A Star is Born playbook where she blurred the lines between Stefani Germanotta and her on-screen alter ego. Scenes of her crooning jazz standards in a psychiatric ward or dancing through delusions with Phoenix were electric, yet they divided audiences. Fans of the original's stark realism decried the musical pivot as tonal whiplash, while critics lambasted the film's ambition as overreach. Box office tallies told a grim tale. A $200 million budget against a domestic haul that barely scraped $100 million, marking it as a rare misfire for the franchise. Streaming metrics offered some solace, but the cultural conversation fixated on failure, with memes and think pieces dissecting what went awry. For Gaga, the early barbs were almost comical in their ferocity, a deluge of online vitriol that felt more like performance art than genuine critique. "It was just getting so unhinged," she reiterated, perhaps alluding to the hyperbolic think pieces branding the film a jukebox musical catastrophe, or Phoenix's character a punchline without punch. But as the discourse dragged on, the laughter faded. "When it takes a while for something to kind of dissipate, that can be a little bit more painful," she admitted, her candor a gut punch. "Only because I put a lot of myself into it." This isn't hyperbole, Gaga's immersion was total. She collaborated closely with Phillips on the script, infused her character's songs with personal demons, and even navigated the physical toll of Phoenix's method-acting intensity. The film became a vessel for her explorations of love as delusion, art as escape, mirrors to her own life's kaleidoscope of reinvention. Yet, in true Gaga fashion, adversity alchemized into art. The negativity she revealed birthed her single Disease, a throbbing electropop anthem that pulses with defiant rebellion. "There was a ton of negativity around Joker, and I think I was feeling artistically rebellious at the time," she explained, framing the track as catharsis. Lyrically, it's a fever dream of toxic attachments and self-sabotage, with hooks that claw at the listener like the film's fractured psyche. Dropped amid the sequel's promotional tailspin, Disease soared on charts, a phoenix rising from the film's ashes and proving Gaga's alchemy, turned scorn into symphony. It's reminiscent of her post-A Star is Born era, where heartbreak fueled Chromatica's euphoric escapism, or her Born This Way manifesto against conformity. Reflecting broader, Gaga's experience illuminates Hollywood's fickle appetite for risk. Joker succeeded by subverting expectations. Its sequel dared more, blending noir with Busby Berkeley flair, yet was punished for not replicating the formula. Gaga, ever the innovator, refuses victimhood. "People just sometimes don't like some things," she philosophized, a mantra honed from decades of scrutiny, from meat dresses to jazz detours. And you keep going even if something didn't connect in the way that you intended. This resilience defines her. The girl from New York who clawed from YouTube covers to Super Bowl halftimes, unafraid of flops because they forge evolution.